Presenting 3 very different models with 3 very different looks by Sappho head makeup designer Rebekah Nakashima. Working with our model Lisa, Rebekah begins by moisturizing her clean face. Mixing the base on a palette to avoid cross-contamination is helpful to demonstrate how little base you need for great coverage. We recommend checking your base color by crossing the jawline from the cheek to the neck. If the foundation does not blend in perceptibly with the skin tone, then you have chosen the wrong color. Switching to the correct tone, Rebekah cross-hatches with the foundation brush to smooth out any brush strokes. Mixing Undo Concealer with a bit of the model's foundation, Rebekah mixes the perfect concealer for Lisa's Peaches and Cream foundation. This foundation goes on extraordinarily beautifully with a foundation brush. Next, Rebekah applies concealer to the top of the eyelid. This is not always necessary, but if there's a lot of blue in the lid, it's a good idea to help achieve a flat canvas from which to work. Using our talc-free translucent setting powder sets the foundation. Again, this is not always necessary, depending on the skin type. Dry skin often does not require setting powder. With a dip into Bronze Goddess 1 and a swirl of her brush, Rebekah adds cheek colour. Using water on her palette and mixing it with Jono and a tiny bit of Raven on her angle brush, Rebekah adds a shape and dimension to Lisa's brows. Eyeshadow colour Deep Diane is applied to the lids. Next, as a crease contour, Rebekah uses Sweet Hailey, very lightly blending until there is no perceptible line. Just graduated colour deepens slightly at the outer corner. Now comes a striking liner using the fail-proof Sappho angle brush, dampened in conjunction with our incredibly pigmented Raven shadow. If you have them, curl them. In order to have the mascara applied as close to the lid as possible, thereby defining the eye even further, Rebekah uses the angle brush again to deposit the mascara close to the lash line. These angels beating down on me. Next, Rebekah adds a very soft eyeliner underneath, again with a dampened angle brush. Rebekah finishes off the first look with a dash of Toots blush applied to the apples of Lisa's cheeks and Dance Till You Drop lip gloss. Lisa is ready for the office now, but then what about going for drinks later? This calls for a little change. Adding Va-Va-Voom wet to the outer third of the eyeline gives the required amount of sass for the occasion. Now we'd like to introduce our model, Willow. We begin with Rebekah using the colour Kate liquid foundation, which is a slightly tanned olive-toned foundation colour. Moving on to concealer, this time Rebekah uses Neutrality concealer mixed with the Kate liquid base. Using silky setting powder, Willow's foundation is set. Using Jono eyeshadow on a dry brush this time, Rebekah leaves a more natural finish to Willow's brows. Oh, can't you tell? If this isn't heaven, then it must be hell. Well, I tried to look the other way, but you never listen to a word. For shading, Rebekah uses Bronze Goddess 2 and Andrea blush applied to the cheek hollow. A big smile, and we add some Emma's blush to lend some freshness. Oh, can't you see these angels? Here is Willow in her natural look. Wait for it. Rebekah adds the shadow Gitter to the corner of the eye and blends inward. More Raven liner is added and is then smudged at the outer corner. Well, I see her face underneath the mask you wear, and I'm in denial because I don't want to see
this pain down deep inside of me. And
Raven is applied with a damp brush to the top inner rim and then to the bottom inner rim.
Beating down on me. Can't you tell that this isn't heaven?
Rebekah places the purple colour Patricia under Willow's eye, but what we don't see her adding is a touch of va-va-voom under the eye close to the nose only. Beautiful blend. Rebekah finishes up the look with a clear lip gloss mixed with a bit of sweet tart shadow. The third model we would like to introduce is Hinde. Rebekah uses Jennifer liquid for Hinde's base. Our Undo concealer can be very effective with darker skin tones. Just mix a little in with the base and voila, a perfect tone for concealing. Here, Rebekah applies the mixed concealer and blends it with the foundation brush. Next, Rebekah brushes Hinde's brows, then goes in with a bit of Raven and Jonah to delicately fill in the shape.
Can't you see these angels beating down on me?
A light wash of Chloe is applied to the lid, and with a damp brush, Rebekah creates eyeliner by using the deep pigmented Raven. For our final look, Rebekah elongates the liner, also with Raven and a damp angle brush.
Well, I tried to look the other way.
To add that little bit of zhuzh, Love the Cheeks blush is used as an eye contour, blended softly up and outward.
And I'm in denial because I don't want to see this pain down deep inside of me.
Last but not least, a highlight is placed in the middle of the eye and blends softly outward to accentuate Hinde's natural beautiful eye shape and provide some pop.
Beating down on me.
Presenting three very different models with three very different looks by Sappho head makeup designer Rebekah Nakashima.
If this isn't heaven, then it must be.